everyone, welcome to the Final Cut. Mark the Movie Man here. So glad you could join us today as we have, yes, more horror for you, independent horror. I know, surprise, right? In the form today of Camp Twilight. Now this is directed by Brandon Amelot, who also co-wrote this with Felissa Rose. Yes, that Felissa Rose, where we get the story of a group of students whose grades are on the rocks thanks to some bad midterms, but they may be able to save their grade if they do some extra credit. And what is that extra credit? You say, well, they are to go out camping for the weekend with a counselor and a teacher, and no technology. They hand in their cell phones and such and learn how to kind of rough it and have a weekend out with nature. And in doing so, they'll save their grades. Little do they know the camp they're going to has a history of big, bad, nasty things happening to the individuals who camp there, where they wind up dead. And soon this young group of individuals find themselves running for their life in the night, trying not to become part of the legend. Yeah, Camp Twilight's interesting. It's chock full of some recognizable veteran horror performers. You know, you got Linnea Quigley in here, Dave Sheridan, Felissa Rose. She's in front of the camera as well. Vernon Wells shows up. Camille Keaton shows up. You know, so you've got a cast of veteran actors and recognizable faces as well in the current indie scene in the form of Jessica Cameron. You know, and yeah, so there's a lot of talent within this film, and I like that quite a bit. It was kind of fun seeing where these veteran performers would show up. Now, as far as the young cast goes, I think they performed well. They did well with the material that they were given. You know, I mean, they're kind of the cliche. You got the a-hole guy, you got the couple, you know, who are kind of on the rocks, you got the lovey-dovey couple, you know, and you have that kind of outsider who has a bit of history to her. And yeah, so, I mean, you've got those standard tropes in here, but they do try to give the legend a little bit of a spin, and the ending also is a bit of a twist, which I kind of saw coming, but kind of didn't. So yeah, it was kind of half and half for me on that. The kills in here are quick, and they don't get too elaborate at all. They keep it pretty straightforward, but still effective, I thought, and creepy. And I loved the setting of the campground that they were in. And some of the performers in here really added some comedic elements. I enjoyed the two park rangers that show up in here as well. They were quite humorous. And yeah, overall, so you had all these really great elements, but unfortunately, what kind of took me out more than I was expecting was the production quality in here, namely in the audio. You know, the gore, the blood effects that they had in here, those looked good, but the audio really took me out. You could tell where there were spots that were really ADR'd. It didn't quite mix too well. So it was a little bit of distraction there. And then there was some of the dialogue in this film as well, which I wish would have maybe been tweaked up a little bit. Usually I can look past it, but it was really very evident in this version that I saw, and maybe they clean it up for when it's finally released. But for me, yeah, it took me a bit more out of it than I was expecting, unfortunately. But if you can look past that, there is some great fun elements in here. I will say as well, the editing choices that they had on some of these were kind of a bit of a head scratching as well, but it's still not a bad film by any means. You know, it's very watchable, especially if you are fans of any of these veteran performers, or looking for a good little modern camp send-up. Well then, Camp Twilight's going to be for you. So there you have it, folks. If you have seen Camp Twilight, please leave your comments down below. Love to hear your thoughts on this slasher camper film. Also, please subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up and all that, and check out our Patreon as well if you're so inclined. I thank you for your support, and remember, till next time, keep that ticket stub.